Hey y'all, this is Amanda and welcome back to my Texas Zone 8A garden. And today I am finally getting around to part 2 of my spring porch makeover. Now, if you missed part 1, I'll drop that link below in the video description. I was trying to budget, so I could only do half the porch in one particular month. And so I'm doing the second half of the porch, I guess, almost 45 days later. And I've done a few things along the way. I've already done this beautiful hanging basket, which is also a separate video. But I want to just put together the rest of this. This isn't going to be an incredibly long video. I just want to show you what all I'm going to do to finish off this side of the porch. Okay, so here's this side of the porch. It has the little bistro wrought iron set that I purchased last year and painted. It also has this vintage column that I bought last year from a market. And I've got a couple of stands. I do have this planter in here already. This is a concrete planter, and it's got 3 varieties of Kong coleus, and Kong is the one with the really big leaves. So I've got that in there. So that's looking really nice. So I'm going to start by just doing a quick cleanup over here, and then I will get to planting. I'm really going to focus on plants that like shade. Okay, so I've got these vintage pots that I ended up getting from an estate sale. Hopefully most of y'all saw that video. And I had planted a bunch of tulips in them. Some of the tulips did really good, some of them did not. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is start replacing some of these. And I picked up this Proven Winners Double Up Pink Begonia, and I picked it so that it would tie into some of the pinks in the front garden, and I could bring a little bit of that pink, back onto the porch. And this does go from sun to shade. It's about 8 to 15 inches tall, and in my area, it is treated like an annual. Now, as I'm pulling stuff out of here, there are some tulip bulbs in here, and they're just being removed. I do not keep my tulip bulbs. They don't overwinter, and it's a really big hassle to try to put them in my refrigerator and try to do that whole thing when I can get them for fairly inexpensive. And I would much rather not go through the hassle. Now, I know that's not the case with some people. You guys can keep your tulips and they come back year after year. That's just not a thing in our area. We don't get cold enough for long enough, and tulips need, minimum 8 to 12 weeks of nice deep cold before they can, before they'll reproduce. Now, one thing I found about all of my shade plants is they do not need to be watered nearly as often as any of my other plants out in my garden. The ones that I did earlier on in this porch redo are doing pretty well, and they rarely, maybe once a month, have to be watered. Okay, that's a good first one. Let me move that one out of the way. I did need to add plant tone to that other one, but let me go ahead and do that on this one. I know a lot of my longtime subscribers are probably just shocked to see me putting just one plant in a pot. But there's a time and a place. Okay. And this is one other container that I got off of Facebook Marketplace. And it is 2 little frogs hugging, which I think is so stinking cute. Let me grab some soil. And in this one, I'm going to put a Proven Winners Color Blaze Mini Me Watermelon. This guy is 12 to 20 inches tall, sun to shade, is an annual in my area. Thought the color was really fun. And that's what I thought. I was hoping it would fit like a glove. I think that'll be really fun. Okay, and for this last one, I have a variegated pittosporum. Pittosporum is used in the florist world all the time for cut greenery for arrangements. This is an evergreen shrub, 6 to 8 feet tall. I'm going to be putting it in a container. It's not going to get that tall. And I'm going to be cutting on it pretty significantly to utilize it in arrangements. It's hardy to zone 8. So in the past few years, we've had several freezes that have basically killed off all these pittosporum. So basically, I'll have it and then it'll be in the pot. And then if need be, I'll bring it in if our weather gets too chilly. It likes part shade to shade. So it's going to be very happy on the porch. Okay, let me show you all what this looks like now. It's around the corner and have a collection of all these. Now, I did not want to use this plastic terracotta pot. I prefer a white pot, but I didn't have enough. So it is what it is. Maybe eventually I can change it out, but I really like how it softens that whole corner. And it really kind of steps up to frame this pedestal right here, which is where I'm going to put a very unique piece that I'm going to show you all next. Okay, so let's get started with this next project for this second part of the porch. Now this is actually going to be a really big focal point because it's going to be on the antique column. And I purchased this multiple years ago, Facebook Marketplace. I think it was like, I don't remember, it's supposed to be a candle holder. But obviously I was like, this doesn't look like a candle holder, this looks like a planter. So I thought it was super fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to line the inside of this with moss to start off with, and then we're going to lay in a trash bag to kind of retain the soil and the water. Now my moss I picked up from Lowe's. I was kind of surprised at how much the price has gone up on moss. I think I might have to, if I'm going to continue using it quite frequently, I think I'm going to have to buy it like in bulk or something, but I was just really surprised. So basically I'm going to take pieces like this. I'm going to start layering them in and kind of pushing them up against the walls of this container. I bought 2 thinking that was enough, but I don't know now, y'all. Maybe it might be enough. I'm going to use a black trash bag because I don't think that'll show as much as like a white one would. This will definitely have a very whimsical kind of secret garden styling, which is very up my alley. Okay, well that looks amazing. How fun. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is I'm taking just a standard trash bag. Just like this. And we're just going to push it down into the center is the goal, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and poke a hole at the bottom to make sure I let the water out. And then we're going to backfill this with soil. Okay, so let's talk about what's going to go in here. Now, the main feature is going to be a diamond frost euphorbia. This guy gets to about 12 to 18 inches, and I want it to basically grow through the top. If you remember, it's going to be like this. And so I want it to grow through the top of the container, which will be very cool. This is the Diamond Frost Euphorbia. It's full part sun. It is an annual in my area. It grows about 12 to 18 inches tall, so I think it's going to work really, really good. It's a little bit drought tolerant, which is nice too. But I also want to add a surprise into here. And the surprise is going to be 3 Stars of Bethlehem bulbs. The Star of Bethlehem is a cut flower, and it is a bulb. It can be a perennial in my area where it comes back year after year. And This variety is about 32 to 36 inches tall. So imagine it coming out of the top with the frothy diamond frost euphorbia around it, which will be very cool. It is full sun to partial shade, and it blooms mid to late summer. And I picked these bulbs up at, what do you call it, Green Acres. And let's see how deep it wants me to plant them. Okay, this is also hardy in zones 8 to 10. I did want to let you guys know that. And it says to plant the bulb 8 inches below the soil line. And it says that you should only do about like 3 bulbs per square foot. I'm going to cram them in this little bitty spot. But you can see it's got dried roots at the bottom, and then you can see it's already sprouting at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and work my way almost all the way to the bottom of this planter and go ahead and get these 3 bulbs in. Yeah, these guys are ready to go. And I think this will be kind of a cool, unique planter. We'll see. It should be very whimsical, and it should gain a lot of height. Okay, so now that we've got the Star of Bethlehem bulbs in there, I'm going to go ahead and add in some plant tone, and then let's go ahead and backfill with this guy, which is very moist because I recently watered him. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do is trim off the excess trash bag. And then we'll end up tucking in the trash bag so that you can't see it. All right, I'm going to pull up the soil, the moss a little bit to kind of hide the trash bag a little more. I'll probably add a little more soil, and then I'm definitely going to water this in the grass before I take it up on the porch, because I tend to overfill all my stuff, and I'd rather the soil just run off into the grass than all over my porch. How cool is this going to be? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Doesn't look like much now, but like I said, 12 to 18 inches. This is going to fill out, and then the Stars of Bethlehem are going to come up. Very cool. Okay, and then the top goes on like this. I'm going to try to spread the plant out a little bit like this. You'll see how I'm flattening it out a little bit. And then, yeah, that's better. And then I can just very carefully come in and pull some of the stems up. There we go. All right, sweet, let's get this watered. I think I like it with some of the moss draping out. What do y'all think? I'm going to tuck it up for now, but I can always pull some out. Y'all let me know if I should like pull on it a little bit just to loosen it up. I can't wait to see what this looks like in a few weeks. Okay, let's go ahead and put in the finishing details. Okay, we're done. Let's take a look, and I've got a lot of other projects going on here, but here we are going in, and let's just review what we have on this side. I did several shade planters. I got this kind of library sofa table on Facebook Marketplace. Painted it, cleaned it up. I've added some other details. Here's some dried blooms, some vintage floral frogs. Looking really good. Struggled with the begonia and the astilbe over here. Both of them are gone. So I added in some more ivy. This planter's had a really hard time. I think it has too much shade, so I'll have to make an adjustment for that one. This one's doing really good over here. Looking really nice. Love it. And then so let's take a look at the new portion. So it's our seating area. So I have the first little area right here where I just put some empty pots, some tools, things that I need to grab in a hurry. And we do have the cute little frogs down here with that mini watermelon coleus. Looking really pretty. And the two new pillow covers I thought were just nice and simple. And a little bit of statue decor. These are vintage floral frogs. And then what will be our main piece as it grows in. Looking really pretty. I did set up drip to it. I set up drip to all these pots. The pittosporum, the two beautiful begonias, and the coleus. I think it looks really, really nice and inviting. Let me take a step back. Look how nice this area looks. Hanging basket. It feels amazing. I love it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed part 2 of my spring porch makeover. I'm not so sure that I'm going to make a lot of changes for the summer. This did take a lot of effort and more money than I typically spend, specifically on plants and planters and things like that. So if everything holds up, I'm going to kind of keep it this way, and I might just add a few accents for summer, specifically a little bit of a color pop. I like to have a little red, yellow, or orange during the summertime. I really like the feel of the porch. I think for those of you who've been following me for a while, I think this is the best porch I've done. I've gotten better over the years. This feels more natural, more inviting. It feels more like me. I didn't go for lots of cutesy stuff. I typically will just buy some cute, spring decorations or summer decorations. I didn't go for that this year. I really just tried to establish the look with the plants and the containers and just lots of layering, lots of green, lots of freshness. And I'm really, really thrilled with how it came about. I left the table more open. Typically I do something more dramatic here. Left it more open because we bring snacks and drinks out here, and so it's nice to have the space open, but I'm thrilled with how it went. All right, you all, I hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when my latest videos are up. And make sure you go check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, she's a mad gardener or decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.